We are now live across the Reinventing the Tattoo network. Lauren's on the road with Fawn Baker, Bart Andrews, and Devin Cooley are going to be beaming in. And the other fellow here on the video is Jake Meeks from the Fireside Tattoo Network. I'm Gabe Ripley.
Right.
I guess we're doing intros. How are we doing this now? We need a script.
I mean, we're only, what, 50 some odd episodes in. I really don't know how many episodes. So that if people haven't realized that we wing it by now, I don't know. They're probably not going to figure it out.
Maybe we'll stop winging it by the time I do.
Yeah, but there's something to winging it. I wing most all of these things. I turn on the camera every time I do something with a loose idea what I'm going to say, with no script whatsoever, and yeah, it works all right.
And then you edit it and make it clever and take out all the ums and the
What's up, guys?
Hey, what's up, Lauren?
Hey, Lauren.
En route to Health City, so I'm excited to see you there, Jake, this coming weekend.
Yeah.
Get a lot of work
up
done.
Thursday.
Yeah.
So you're driving from where to where?
We're driving from Ohio to Phoenix.
Okay, so you started in Columbus?
Yep.
How long is that drive?
Like 25 hours or so.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, and you're breaking up a little bit, but we talked
if
earlier.
anyone's ever made it, it's a beautiful drive. So
rough.
Yeah, so bad.
Tattooers tend to have like minds. So yesterday we were.
Lauren, it sounds like we're on CNN right now. I think you either have to stay put, maybe
later tonight.
Either stay put or so that there's not as much signal going through, or maybe find another spot.
Yeah, you're getting a little draggy.
Yep, I'll beam in a little bit later.
Perfect.
Be safe.
It does seem to be working perfectly across the networks. I've got it on the YouTubes, on the Fireside Tattoo YouTubes. I've got it on Facebook. It's even on LinkedIn.
All right, LinkedIn. Wow, holy crap!
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, maybe we can impress some lenders or some bankers or something.
There's a funny amount of tattooers that are on there. A lot of cannabis people too.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I think they could doom scroll and not feel guilty about it, or that actually is going to be one of my topics at some point, which is you can't, if you're a fucking tattooer, you cannot scroll social media and consider it work. So there's to it. You can't do it. Too many people do that. But
wait, say it again. You can't scroll social media.
If you're scrolling social media, it's not work. That's not work. You can't consider that work. It's not promotional work. It's not like getting clients. It's not nothing except for getting them advertising dollars for your attention. So.
Do people really try to pass off scrolling social media as part of their job?
Well, they ask me all the time, like, how do I do like Instagram better and Facebook better and all that? And then it's because they're spending more time on it and they want to be better at it. And it's like, wait, that's not work. That's play. I mean, you might have some tattoos that you get out of it. Of course, your clients do follow you and whatnot. But that's social media, right? So anyways, that's one of my pet peeves.
You've taught me a lot on this front over the last year or two. And I spent, the last 9 years with Fireside just completely dependent on YouTube to promote us and to organize our content and all of that. And it wasn't until you brought up the fact that I need to own that content on my own domain, I had gotten to the point where I was thinking websites are a thing of the past. No one really goes to them anymore. And of course, now we've done a 180 on that, and you're helping us to build a really robust website that's going to be super useful for people. But there was a point in time, not that long ago, that I had just kind of abandoned the idea of even having one. I thought that YouTube and Instagram had kind of replaced any need for a page, for a landing page of my own.
YouTube's close. I mean, YouTube is a search engine. But I mean, ultimately, and people have heard me do this before, they just perform different functions. Somebody goes to a search engine like Google, or they open up a browser and they type a question in like tattooer near me, Star Wars tattoos, rose tattoos, portrait tattoos, memory tattoos. Those are all people that are actively seeking to get tattooed, going to a search engine, looking for the best results. And that's what the job of the search engines is to do, to deliver the best results. Whereas social media is designed to keep your attention on its app. And so, sometimes it'll feed you opportunities. And I'm not saying I haven't traveled the world and gotten, opportunities to travel through Europe and China and shit because of social media. But that's not his job, right? And so like you got to be very particular about making sure that you're extracting the value out of it, but not just doom scrolling on the toilet thinking you're considering it work, or you know what, I'm doing this for work. I'm not like, oh no, I'm working. I'm not spending time with my fucking partners or my kids or my whatever's, my friends, because I'm scrolling through tattoos online. That's not work.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Christopher Durazio on the YouTube, on the Fireside YouTube, says that he knows a manager who got fired for not answering her Instagram on Sundays. Whoever fired that person needs to learn a little bit about work-life balance, huh? Not answering Instagram on Sunday.
Well, and being able to funnel communications, as you know, now we're able to do more, just being able to like funnel all the communications to the right spots. It's somewhat arbitrary, the communication methods that people shut off. Although I guess in this case, it's somebody trying to be hyperactive about responding, which is probably okay. I mean, it's not okay to fire people for not replying on Sundays. I mean, that's not.
Unless that was one of their work days, I guess that's yeah.
Unless it was one of their work days.
All right. Yeah, on that, that's another one of those things with spending time on Instagram, whether it's trying to get ideas or whatever. If the things that we consider a part of our work day, a lot of times we kind of like our brains assign, if we just make lists of tasks to do, we kind of assign equal importance to all of them, and so if there's something like drawing for a tattoo or doing some actual like purposeful promotion that you've planned out, and you treat scrolling Instagram for ideas as importantly as you treat those other things that actually do provide results, you end up wasting a lot of time just doing kind of meaningless tasks, and will typically want to do the easiest stuff first. So you end up just checking boxes that don't really make a difference all day, and you end up procrastinating on the most important things. There's a podcast that I really like called procrastination. No, it's like procrastination priority or something like that, but it's but basically, it's about the concept that the things that we procrastinate on are typically the things we should be doing first, because they usually provide the greatest value. And so this podcast is all about examples of that. My coach Dan Sullivan is part of.
Dan Sullivan,
yeah. I say my coach. So Dan he's not my personal coach, because I'm not in the high enough program of strategic coach for him to be coaching me, but he is. The information trickles down from him to me. So. 10X Talk, that's one that he does with the guy that runs the Genius Network, Joe Polish. And I don't know a lot about Joe Polish, but Dan Sullivan, the guy on the older guy there, is really one of my real mentors. He doesn't know it, but I've gotten so much value from him. I think he's one of the smartest people. He's so good at simplifying complex ideas and making them easy to grasp and take action on.
It is amazing how difficult it is to make things simple. And I mean, obviously this converts right into both, almost all aspects of tattooing. It's like everyone wants to, not everyone, a lot of people want to do bigger, better, more effective things. And then, inherently you end up adding a lot of stuff to the mix or complexity to the mix, and then trying to like simplify that back out so that you could do something big. So you have to simplify it out. You can't do anything at scale or really big unless it's simplified.
Right.
But but not too simple.
Yeah. The way that we start some of our courses and with Fireside it's a quote that comes directly from Dan, and it's no one solves a problem by adding complexity. You have to deal with problems in their most basic form in order to get to the root of them. And so I've applied that to drawing, and in our foundations course, which by the way is about to relaunch for anyone out there who has, I don't know how many people are watching right now or might watch later, but if you own our Fireside Foundations course, which is our flagship kind of course that we've had out for probably 6 or 7 years, that introduces the Fireside method of designing tattoos, starting with shapes, the shape of the body, and then addressing that the shapes of the tattoos with cylinders and spheres and cubes, and then values and then edges and then color. And it's a simple way to go through that. I'm reshooting that course. Actually, I'm finishing up the editing today.
Oh, awesome.
And I've gone through and I've applied it more to tattooing, and I think I've simplified it even further with Dan's help. So if you own the original foundations, email info@firesidetattoo.com, and I'll make sure that you get the updated version since you've paid for it in the past. I want to make sure everyone has the newest version of this, because I think it's the best work that I've done in a course. I think it's easily the best work that I've done, because I think that I've simplified these ideas to the point, and I've done it enough times that I can speak clearly about it as I'm solving the problems. And I think it should be one of the more like powerful tattoo design courses that's out there.
Awesome. Actually, speaking of like courses and shameless self-promotions,
Yeah.
not that that was shameless, but it was shameless. Okay. No, point is, we should talk about the event that's happening in November. We do actually have dates to go out on the boat beers business, or
are we doing it in November? I don't know. Let's, before we throw dates out, let's talk about it. My only concern with the boat in November is that it's not known to be like the nicest time to be out on the water. It's rainy.
Yeah.
It's rainy around here this time of year, and if it's at all cold, which you don't get cold, you're from a different part of the world, but if it's at all cold, it's brutal on the lake. So I'm hesitant to commit to November dates for that. I'd love to do November dates for something in Memphis. Yeah, but I'm nervous about the boat, only because on the boat we need to be outside.
Yeah, you know? No. Let's do the boat in the springtime.
Okay. Yeah, I think that the spring, summer, because it's awesome when you can get in the water and like we can really balance the work kind of play of it. You know, we can talk some tattoo entrepreneurs mindset and drawing and painting.
Well, let's set those dates soon, because we have the inspiring tour is just about sold out already.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So sweet. Okay.
But that's in April. So yeah, next spring. I'm sure your next year is already kind of booking up too.
I think that I'm not doing any tattoo conventions next year. I'm only going to focus on those types of things. I say none.
Small kind of boutique things.
Yeah, I think so. I think I'm conventioned out. I did so many this year. I still have 2 left, and I think I'm going to wrap it up after these. I've got Hell City with Lauren this coming weekend, and then Richmond, Jesse Smith's convention in October. 2
great shows.
Yeah. Going out with a bang. I really wanted to do the one that Jason Leeser was talking about, the Fibs and Yalzi's Puerto Rico show, but still don't think I can go in December. That's
you know, I've avoided the bug so far. I was like, no more conventions for me. You know, I got through Tattoo Machine Olympics, where I was like at the stage where all the other, with everybody. I'm like, if I'm, I don't want to catch COVID for no reason, but like Tattoo Machine Olympics, maybe that's a good. No, it's not a good enough. Anyway, point is, I was like, no more conventions for me. And then there's a computer geek convention that I think I have to go to. So I'm like, okay, one more convention for me, not tattoos, but it'll be full on computer geek. And I'm actually kind of excited for that. It'll be a different crew.
That's I think that's the one we've been talking about a little bit on the phone for the platform that you've been working with.
Yeah. Or one of them, I've been able to suck in like 1 or 2 other spots, like the full business plan, the living business plan that I've got, it's like all of the documentation and whatnot. So that's all, again, it's all TattooNow. So it's like TattooNow. So yeah, so to your point, it's like there's a couple different things that I'm smushing together. And yeah, I still haven't slept. Wait until you see the interface again. I mean, not to keep talking about businessy things like this, but when you see the interface, you'll be like, oh shit, you haven't slept.
Nice. Yeah, I can't wait. So we have did I hear that we have a guest today, or we have one guest?
We do. Devin Cooley and Bart Andrews will be beaming in about 13 minutes. Let me fire up Devin Cooley's work. Now, Devin, correct?
I don't think so.
Oh, you don't? Okay. For some reason, I thought you did interviews with him. It'd be funny. You did a featured interview with them. That might not be true at all.
While you're looking that up, I've missed a couple of comments here on Fireside. Faith Lynn says, you can guerrilla market on social media, IG targeted engagement, local tags, Facebook groups are my honey hole, but it's not scrolling, it's messaging, sales scripts, building relationships and events.
Yeah, like I said, there's certainly no doubt that you can get, again, you just need to be making sure that you're wicked deliberate about, and again, I hate to say it, because almost every other aspect of my life, I'm like, give more than you could take. But for social media, it's like, fucking take that shit, don't give, because its job is to suck you right in. I check messages, and then I'm like, there are people that are on social media that I have to check messages on, and then I check the message, and then all of a sudden I'm fucking ready to fight some asshole in the fucking 3 states away, and I'm like, wait a minute, no. I want to just reply to a fucking message is all. And again, I'm not saying you can't get plenty of, like I said, I've traveled the world because of it, but on the other hand, yeah, again, like as far as business is concerned, you can get some business, but there's other ways to do much more business, I think.
Yeah.
But this is Devin's work. Of course, here we are on Instagram, right? Fucking right to Instagram.
Right. Well, it's the easiest place to find people for sure. Oh yeah, really nice. And Devin's out of
he's in Boston area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really
Bart
nice.
Andrews tattooed him a while back. I think he got tattooed it off the map. He did get tattooed it off the map.
Okay,
Evan did by Bart.
nice. Yeah, that's really, really clean, kind of a neo-traditional approach.
Yeah,
Yeah,
real cool guy.
yeah, I
Too. So
love it.
he'll be coming beaming in live. We don't need to show off too much for his work, and he'll be beaming in with Bart Andrews.
Yeah, and Bart was on just within the last month, right?
Yeah, you know, he's got a Unified Tattoos
Mhm.
set up so that he could be beaming in regularly and through Reinventing. I think he's going to be streaming Sean Foy. Sean Foy's doing a tattoo, or he's doing a guest spot down there. So this is a Unified
Nice.
Tattoos. This is some of Bart's work here, I think. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah,
full on.
yeah. And Bart is really competent at quite a few styles. He definitely comes from an older tattoo culture where you had to be good at everything, and it seems like he really is.
Yeah, as far as his seminar, as he was able to get it put together, will be how to excel in the various styles. Killing everything that walks through the door. Maybe killing. I gotta stop using that metaphor. Look at this shit. But so yeah, so clearly this is like a full on, realism.
Yeah.
Pieces here. Wait until you see some of his Asian style work here. Let's see here.
Yeah, I've seen a little of that. Really nice, super solid, beautiful.
I always feel bad whenever I'm screen sharing. I haven't liked this stuff, but I'm not on here very often.
Yeah, really nice. Oh, is he gonna? No, that's probably last Hell City. Bart's not going to Hell City Phoenix, is he? Oh, that's really nice.
I don't know. He was just at a tattoo convention in Jacksonville this weekend, so I doubt he would be going next weekend.
Yeah, I just saw the post from Hell City, but he was in Columbus. I bet that's an older post. It was from Columbus. Yeah.
Did he show the hiring a receptionist? They just won tattoo of the day at that show that they were at.
Oh, nice.
Oh
yeah,
wait,
yeah.
I want to show off Sean Foy. That's the other fellow that I want to show off. Do you know Sean Foy?
I know the name. How and Sean was that he was going to be on today and is not now. Is that right?
Correct. He's doing a guest spot at Unify, but the timing didn't quite work out, so he'll be streaming out on Friday.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, again, some serious.
Yeah, awesome.
I did this at Loose Screw.
Okay. Wow. Cover up.
Oh no shit.
Yeah. Well, he did a great job. I don't know. I can
Yeah.
guess
Oh,
what
wow,
cover.
okay.
Oh
Okay.
wow. Yeah, sure is.
Fun.
Nice. Well done.
Ah, look at that. Yeah.
Yeah, these are really nice.
Oh, with Brandon Herrera. Okay, sure. Makes sense.
Oh, collab. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really, really nice. Talking about on the subject of social media, I've really liked the platform that you've gotten me set up on, or that you and Taylor over at TSM Pro have gotten me set up on, where I have the single inbox that pulls from everywhere. It pulls from like my Instagram direct messages, my Facebook messages, my email, all the platforms, anywhere people can reach out to me. It just ends up in this one spot, and I can reply from that spot and not have to go back to the individual places.
These are my notes.
That's a
here we
game
go.
changer.
And for tattoo shops, this here, the flow, I'm going to be able to like automate and personalize like 60 probably to 70% of the of those intake questions. Like, I mean, as I've been setting people up, it's like all the like, if somebody's asking about walk-ins, we just do a sniff. Somebody asking about walk-ins, okay, we'll give them the walk-in frequently asked questions. Somebody's asking about piercing, give them the piercing frequently asked questions.
Yeah.
Always gently suggest that they fill out the consultation request. So that by the time that the support team or the front room or the manager's talking to somebody, they're like kind of only talking to somebody who have a unique issue or somebody who's filled out a consultation request. Dude, I'm telling you, like when you look, I'll show you this stuff and you're gonna be like, wow, that's pretty fucking neat.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like, you need to sleep, bro. I don't have
Yeah.
to say bro. That's how tired I am, bro.
I'm not using any of that level of automation. It's just simply all the messages showing up in one spot. Even though I'm the one that's having to answer every question or read every comment, just the fact that I don't have to remember to check, Instagram DMs and Facebook DMs and YouTube messages and all that. It's really cool that they all just show up in one place.
It's helped me save my business, right? I think I'm going to try to do this all as a one-person show again, or I have some help, of course, but like basically, I'm almost to the point where I'm like, I would never want to have a tattoo shop again. I could just keep making software like this for everybody. And I haven't showed you where like all of the operating procedures are in there. The help wanted ads are in there.
Oh, nice.
The marketing action plans are in there. Like it's all in there. I went nuts. If I can put everything into one spot, like so all the software, all the business design, all the marketing, the fucking interactive videos.
Yeah, that's exciting. Can't wait to check it out.
Well, we have our meeting at 1 o'clock, so
yeah. Like I was saying, I'm super excited about having everything in one place. And for me, it's not just that marketing software, but it's the combination of having all of our content on with dedicated pages that have the proper keywords, so that when people actually search, if they want to learn more about gear or rotary machines or coil machines, like anything that we've ever put out. And we've got thousands and thousands of hours of video. It's almost impossible to find it. And by the time we're finished with this project, which is a huge undertaking, but by the time we're finished with it, people will just be able to say, like, what have you, I'm curious about, power supplies and what makes one different than another. And then anything we've done on that will pull up in order and let them kind of, go through it in that way. That's
I almost want to give people a peek. Let me see if there's a good page.
Let's see. Got a few more comments here. Christopher was talking about the different pieces that we were flipping through earlier. Yeah, those were all really nice. And Mr. Iron Hex, is that right? Mr. Iron Hex says, "Sup, essays? What's up, man? How are you?
Yeah,
Thanks for jumping on."
Fiesta cervezas.
To that, if for people who jumped on a little bit later, I was saying that I've done a complete kind of relaunch of our Fireside Foundations course. So if you are someone, I know a lot of people who are watching on the Fireside channel or own that course because we've been selling it for so many years. If you own the original Fireside Foundations, I want to make sure you get the updated version of it when it goes live, hopefully later this week. And so if you'll email me info@Fireside Tattoo, that'll email Allie, actually, my assistant, but if you'll email Allie, we'll start a spreadsheet with everyone on it. I should be able to pull most everyone who has purchased it, but it's been sold through multiple platforms over the years, and I don't know that I have all of the, everyone who owns it. So if you email me, I'll make sure that you get the updated version.
Yeah, so. Cool. Hey, so I do have a sneak peek here while we're waiting for Devin and Bart to beam in here. So this is
so
this is like a sample page. This is the episode number 10.
Yeah.
And we'll see, we've got the full video, got the highlights, some quotes from it.
Yeah, and our fantastic helper Dan is helping to chunk all this out. So he's going through and watching these videos and pulling like 2 and 3 minute clips so that you can get little chunks of it if you don't want to watch the entire episode. And then the entire episode is either at the top or the bottom. But it's basically little blog posts and little clips so that you get the gist of what those episodes are about. These pages took him forever because they're so dense with information. This is a project that we did with S8, and we had Sean Bellina, their owner and chemist, biophysicist, come on and talk about skin and ink and fluid dynamics and how, angle of penetration from, how the needle hits the skin and all kind. We broke down so many ideas in that series, and Dan was stuck with the task of going through and trying to decipher all of it and break it into these pages.
Well, I might propose that as opposed to being stuck with a task for an apprentice hopeful, it's probably some of the best tasks you could be hoping for.
Yeah, definitely. And that's Dan is trying to get into tattooing, and I think he'll definitely have a leg up once he lands an apprenticeship. I'm scared for him to land an apprenticeship now. I'm too dependent on him. I don't want to
Yeah, people get busy quick. Kyle's already Kyle's working for Derb now, and it's True Tubes. It's like, oh man. This is pretty cool. So this is how light is refracting in the skin here, and the
yeah, man, Sean went deep on some of this stuff he was talking about, and we never got way into it. But there are these, there are these like, I don't know what to call it. They're called microspheres, and they're used in all different ways. But he believes that they could be put into ink, and they're basically like little what do you call it, like disco balls, and they reflect light in different areas. And he thinks that they could be added to tattoo ink to really give like bioluminescence, or to help amplify pigment in darker skin tones, or in different skin tones that don't typically show bright color all that well. So he got way deep into some of the potential of these microspheres. I don't know if we talked about it in this episode. Kind of like you and I jump on the phone and ended up talking for, and covering so many topics. Sean and I did that for a couple of years, and he just threw so many crazy ideas out, and I wasn't able to capture all of them on film or on audio, but man, he's a smart guy. I got a handful of comments here. Zaya Maida says, I want to get the course. I'll make sure to, when it is ready, for people who don't already own it, when it is ready, I'll put it out there. Let's see, Christopher Durazio wants to know how much it is. Super cheap. I think it's going to be like in the $29 range. I want this course to be as accessible as it can be. I've played around with the idea of like giving courses like this away, but what I've found is if you don't have any skin in the game at all, you'll never go through it. So I like for people to at least have some skin in the game. I have a lot of free courses that I've never even opened.
Oh, hey, we're here with Devin. Devin beamed in.
Oh, sweet.
Devin, how goes it?
Well, how are y'all?
Fantastic. We hear you perfectly. Could you do me a favor and turn your phone sideways if possible, so the camera fills up the whole space? Oh, fantastic. And then maybe turn it a little bit away from the window, because it's like a nuclear window. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, and I can shut the blinds too.
I think you're good. You're good.
Either way, can't hurt. It's like a nuclear window out there. Hey, and we got Bart also beaming in here. So Bart is currently muted. Up there we go.
Hey, Bart, how's it going?
Good, man. How you doing this morning, Jake?
Great. Doing really
Very
well.
fun. So Bart, you just got back from a tattoo convention?
Yeah, it was interesting.
Very fun.
Wait, elaborate. What does that mean?
Well, it's one of those things, you travel, we all talked before, you travel to conventions, it's always one thing, everything's kind of, we try to figure out, like listen to you talk one day, you figure out what you need to take and what you don't take. Mm-hmm. And it's all the shit that you realize that I ain't got time for this. You don't feel like dealing with it. I just want to go and tattoo or talk to people and do what we got to do.
Yeah.
So this being a local show, it was only, 20 minutes from the shop, 30 minutes from the shop, half hour, 45 minutes from my house. So we pretty much packed up the entire shop, 3 booths, run TV, set up a mini art gallery. It was just a lot of shit. So, but it was good. And having everybody there that was all working together in a convention the first time, it was a good experience having that and seeing everybody work together. And you can really tell how, tight everybody at the shop is by how tight they still work at the convention. It's like, even though we had a couple people that never worked shows before, actually 3, our receptionist and shop manager, Natalia, my apprentice, Jessica, one of our artists, Kevin, none of them ever worked at a convention. Natalia had been to a couple when she was like 10 years old because her brother tattooed stuff. So, and Puerto Rico and some other places. So that was great for that. But, them actually having the experience of working and how seamless everything just transitioned and worked together, it was beautiful.
Awesome. Yeah, we're getting a little look here, I think, at the setup. Wow, you had a nice, are all these your booths?
Yep.
Yeah, nice. It's an awesome setup.
So,
cool.
And then, Pepper did on Saturday and Sunday, because since she's taking a sabbatical from tattooing right now, she just did a live painting and stuff those couple of days. So it was great.
Yeah. Was the show pretty well attended?
Yeah, I'm going to say it's the busiest we've ever seen that show, even pre-COVID. I'm going to say he probably had 140 booths and throughout the weekends for spectators, every day I've seen at least 15 to 2,000 people on the floor every day. So he had a good turnout. So
yeah. Well, that's awesome. Cool.
And you sent over the tattoo, one of the collabs you did real quick before we hop into the interview with Devin. Thanks, Devin, for your patience. But
Oh no, yeah, one for the row.
but
This was a collaboration.
yeah, collaboration on Friday. Me and Rob Jeff did. We've got first place large tattoo of the day with it. So
Nice, man.
8 hours, 2 of us going. So
yeah, that's a lot of work, and especially like building all that texture and all that in a single pass. It's it's a lot of work.
I put the Emperor's face on Rob. I handled the I handled Vader and decided to knock that out.
Oh, nice.
Smart.
I would have preferred that approach too if it were me. Like, all right, man.
Well, I took care of that, and then when we started going, I done the little guys coming around the back and started working on the texture and the space stuff because I used to do a lot of that, and it was just fun. So, but then we got tying everything together was fun. You understand your limitations of what you can and cannot do at the same time. And then, somebody's got to sit back so somebody can get in there and work here and sit there and stuff. But it was all in all just a great experience. It was one of those things too. I was super happy for Rob, because coming out of it, he's won a couple trophies. I think when like 2012, we had won something, we really hadn't competed or nothing like that. So having him come out and do a collaboration together is first collaboration, technically mine too. We've had some stuff I've worked collaboratively with people on. But anything like that, first, and to have that trophy and stuff like that for him, I was very happy for him. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, congrats. Super cool.
Thank you.
and now you've known Devin for a while. You want to introduce our guest?
Yeah, I brought on my little buddy from back home, Mr. Devin Coley. We both Carolina boys growing up. I've known Devin for Jesus now. I mean, 2000
like 19.
Yeah, 2009, somewhere in there.
Yeah, probably. No, even before that, I think. Maybe even 2007 or 8, maybe.
It might have been because you're right. It's something right there because right at town, John was working on you, and then John passed and stuff.
Exactly.
Is that a little John that did the convention?
No, not little John. John Fuller. John Fuller was a mentor of mine, a real good friend. He got killed in a tragic motorcycle accident one night, and he had actually started my back piece, never got finished. I tell you, you guys might notice that, Jake. You remember all the tattoo flash back in the day that had all the tribal words with like FTW and fuck the world and all this other stuff?
Yeah, sounds familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, that was all the John stuff.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah, all through the Tattoo Johnny Flash and going through there and stuff back then.
Yeah.
But
awesome.
So meeting Devin back then, tattooing him before he was tattooing, and he was this little surf punk tag. Not much has changed.
Not really.
So what part of are you guys from the same town in Carolina? No?
Pretty close.
Yeah, real close. Emerald Island, Jacksonville. So he was working out of Jacksonville at the time, and I was living in Emerald Island.
Okay.
Because just went to college, so I was in Chapel Hill coming back, and then after college, I was there for like 6 months, and then I moved to Boston, which is where I've been till now.
Okay, so you went to UNC? Yeah,
UNC Chapel Hill. Yeah.
Nice. I'm a big Tar Heel fan. I think they're gonna win a national championship this year. Knock on wood.
Definitely. I mean, they should have won it last year. I couldn't believe that after that halftime score.
I know.
I was like, oh, come on.
They have hockey in North Carolina?
They do now. Carolina Hurricanes.
These pieces look awesome. Did you
look at that bird?
Thank you. Thank you.
So nice, super clean. Did you kind of start off with this kind of neo-traditional approach, or what was your drawing background before you?
No, definitely not. Honestly, I just did a lot of like graph and kind of weird painting stuff. I didn't really have a style at all. I was pretty bad, to be honest, but I was very, very much into it, and I just did it constantly. And then once I moved up to Boston, I started watercoloring more, as well as doing a lot of graphs still. And then the watercolor just kind of started shifting more to like tattoo-based design stuff, and kind of went from there. But no, when I first started, I thought I wanted to be like Cali Black and Gray kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like I was a huge, obviously, like most of us, like Tim Hendrix fan and all that. And yeah, I just love that style. And I was covered in black and gray still to this day. I got like 80% of my body covered. It's pretty much all black and gray. Yeah, it just kind of, you fall into, I feel like, what you're good at and what you enjoy. And but I did every style for years before I ever started to focus on neo-trad.
Yeah. Yeah.
I noticed that it said in one of your captions that you're hitting the road. Last tattoo in Boston. Did I just miss that,
yes. So I moved back to North Carolina, but I'm not planning on getting with a shop just yet, and so I'll just be traveling for at least the next 5 months, maybe more. I've always traveled a lot. I've always done a lot of conventions, but now I'll be doing more guest spots as well as more conventions.
Nice. Did I see that you did something with a loose screw? Were you tattooing there?
No. I just know several of the people there.
Okay. Well, you should definitely do a guest spot there. They're awesome.
Yeah, for sure. It's a great shop and lots of talent. Talent.
Yeah. A cool town too. Richmond is such a fun town. I'll be doing that show in October, and I love kind of breaking away from the show and just wandering there, kind of all the historical areas there. What's the big cemetery there that's so cool? Is it called Hollywood Cemetery? Maybe the place is crazy. You could spend a day there just taking photos.
It is a really cool place.
Yeah.
All the years of doing the Richmond convention back when before Billy passed away, and everybody talking about going over to that cemetery. I never went, not one fucking time.
Oh, really?
I was just always working. And we get done tattooing, and it's just like to the bar, to the boom boom room. You know what I mean? Go get it. So. That was pretty much about
that. I'm the same on convention days. I typically try to go a day early or stay a day late so I can see the town. And now I've gotten to where I just don't like to tattoo 3 straight long days like that, because my convention tattoos always so it's kind of like being in a casino where there's like no lights and no clock, and so I just tattoo for 12 hours. So I've gotten to where I don't tattoo that on Sundays. I'll just tattoo Friday, Saturday, and then make Sunday kind of a wandering day. So that helps too. Devin, I saw one of your stops is going to be in Nashville, huh?
Yeah, I'm stoked for that because I'm a big country music fan. So
nice. That's I'm like 2 hours away. I'm in Memphis, but we spend a lot of time in Nashville over the years. It's a fun town.
Nice.
TK and the Know Nothings. Who's your favorite new country band? Country. I'm assuming you mean like outlaw country, not like fucking country.
Yeah, I was just about to say I'm definitely more like Loretta Lynn, Patsy Cline,
cool.
all that stuff. But I also like kind of like the folky country stuff, like Tyler Childers and stuff like that.
Hell yeah.
I play banjo, so I listen to a lot of old time music. So Doc Boggs and stuff like that. But I am really kind of all over the place. But old time is like definitely near and dear to my heart. So anything a few hundred years old, I'm down.
I'm with you. People keep telling me that I would like Tyler Childers. I don't listen to much new country, but any song that I've heard, it hasn't like jumped out at me yet. Maybe I should give it a little more time. But
he's great. He's catchy.
Tyler Childers, Coulter Wall is another one. And Sierra Farrell is really great. She's like super folky, old soul. She even has like a little dolly, I feel like, in her vocals. It's nice. She's good. She's very good.
I'm with you on that. Go ahead.
I say he's gonna have to text me a list of these new artists I haven't heard.
I don't know any of the new ones either, but I'm definitely with you on the old time country. There's a show here in Memphis on our local radio. This old guy, Bashful Bob, he's got to be in his 80s, and he just plays old time country for 3 hours every Wednesday. So it's a lot of like Louvin Brothers and Ernest Scruggs, and so he just plays all this stuff from like the 30s, 40s, 50s, and he plays some stuff that's a little newer, but not like new, but
Yeah, kind of like outlaw country. Like they got Mojo Nixon on there. And he kind of runs through things. So yeah, those stations are nice. They're few and far between. So it's nice to hear that music.
Yeah.
I have to say that on the new TattooNow interface, under the management tasks, it's under the extracurricular management tasks. There's a long form music playlist that people can add to.
Yes, they can.
Oh, huh.
That's dope.
Actually, Jake, there's a link there straight in the library. There's a link straight for the Fireside Tattoo Network.
Oh, really? All right, sweet. I'll check that out. Wait, the long form music playlist. What's for what reason? What do you?
So like, well, I kind of had it for our old shop, but basically you can go to the YouTube channel and then click on random, and then it'll pick, it'll just play all these long form. I think there's maybe 20, 25, 40 minutes, hour long, music, music stuff. So that, it's all good stuff.
Yeah, interesting. Well, let's you guys want to jump back to tattoos a little bit. One thing I was curious about when we were looking through your work is kind of your color palette and color choices, and I think that's one of the things that successful like neo-trad artists like where you can see the difference in the evolution of someone that's working in that style. Is like how their use of color, their use of like high key, like well, first off, it's contrast based first, right? So there's a lot of like really strong blacks and pattern based stuff a lot of time. But then within that approach to color, a lot of times I've noticed it's like, it's a nice mixture of really punchy high key colors, really muted soft colors, and then also like some grays and browns and neutral tones that are used just right. Did you find that transitioning to this style that color was one of the challenges of getting good at neo-trad? Did you spend a lot of time practicing that?
100%. Like I would say that was a huge weakness for. I think I'm slightly weak at everything still, obviously, because we're still learning. But like I feel like in the last few years, that's what's kind of helped me get just that next level of better, where it also allows people to enjoy the tattoo regardless of subject matter more, because I feel like their brains just like, I like this feels good to my eyes, feels good to my head. But no, I was not, I had no art school backing or anything. I was kind of just figuring out everything on my own. And that was the longest to take to figure out on my own. And like, it used to be in the beginning, it was just like, I like this color. Let me use this color. Like, I remember I was obsessed with Mike Stock. I still love his work, but I was obsessed with Mike Stockings when I was first learning to tattoo. And I just put tangerine in everything. Like just absolutely everything. Like I loved the color. Looked great in his tattoos, but I didn't realize that like there was theory and all this stuff to it. I was just like, shit, I'm gonna put tangerine in everything. But you live and you learn, and you see your tattoos and you just do it more and progress. And the iPad has helped me so much because I do full renderings for all my tattoos. So it, just being able to play with the spectrums and see things. And then I like to a lot of times just play a lot with my base color. And then once I find that color, then go off of that. And then you find yourself finding different palettes or things like that. I mean, I'm still, terrible at falling into the same colors, but
but it's working. I mean, if this is fucking terrible, then fucking I don't know.
And I want to say right here, the one reason I wanted us to bring Devin on and put something on him is just like I was telling Gabe that watching Devin as a tag artist on canvas and seeing the things that he was doing, it was very bold and punchy back then as a kid and stuff like that. And unfortunately, I've told Devin this several times, I wish I had have actually took him on as an apprentice, but I'm glad I didn't, because I didn't have the skills back then to offer what he's accomplished now. And he's actually become one of the artists that I look up to.
Yeah.
That means so much,
He has sit here and by far surpassed anything I ever thought when we first said he was going to tattoo. And I'm like, you're either going to do really good or you're going to do really bad,
Right.
And he's jumped leaps and bounds past even doing really good from everything I've watched. And to stay as kind and humble of a person as he is, and to every time I turn around, I look over here and I see something that just shocked me even more, where he's pushed it even better. And to keep on producing this level of quality. And then, granted, you're still a young kid and everything. And, but it's just that I'm very excited to see where you're going to go from here, your evolution and how you keep pushing everything. And it's
Yeah, it's really
the tables have
fantastic.
turned from like Devin like looking up to me and me looking up to him now. It's like,
oh, but I'll always look up to you, Bart, man. I mean, like you were like the first damn good artist that I met that it would actually give me the time of day. So you've always been like big brother to me, and always will be. So, and I appreciate everything you said because it means a lot.
Yeah,
keep doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's fantastic.
With the quality of your work, the biggest challenge will be to keep your head on your shoulders. It's fucking great.
Oh,
the world's
yeah,
your oyster. You got anything you want to. Cheers the fuck up.
Yeah, exactly. And doing shows all the time, I feel like definitely keeps me realizing that I got a lot to learn. I mean, every show I go to, even small ones, I'm like, holy shit, I need to draw more. I need to work on the little things. I need to focus more. Every show I go to, I'm pretty humbled, I feel like.
Yeah, it's easy to be humbled walking around and watching, tattooers that you've never heard of. You're looking at work, you're like, I've never seen or heard of this person. They're obviously half my age, and this work is amazing. It's
exactly, and they've been tattooing like 3 years or 2 years, and I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah,
100%.
Well, the problem there lies into the point is I think we've talked about before is it's ego. They come out of the gate really good like that, but give them a few years in, something's going to pop that ego, and then it's all going to when their talent that they have lines up with the experience, it goes, oh,
right,
okay, this is what it's about.
Exactly.
And that's
100%.
Young guys like you have my focus of course every day I always try to do a good tattoo and keep pushing what I want to do, but my drive for what's next is laying a better platform for the next generation to come through, helping push or keep them in the spotlight and showing them the way of, hey, this is the old shit I dealt with. You don't have to deal with that, but you don't got to let your ego to come in there, and you need to, so help guiding people like that, and or sit back there and just give props to people like Devin who just keeps kicking ass. So
yeah,
appreciate it.
Yeah, man. And Bart, I mean, one of the things that you deal with when you've been tattooing as long as you have, and I think I deal with the same thing is like if we're not with our physical tattooing outside of trying to help up and comers, if you're not finding a way to stay engaged and challenge yourself, with each new piece. Like I only do 3 tattoos a week, and so I don't get a lot of. It's plenty of time for me to tattoo each week, but I don't get. It's not like I'm doing 3, 4, 5 tattoos a day and working full time 5 days a week at it. So if I don't have the desire to make each tattoo interesting enough to keep me captive for that 6-hour span or 7-hour span that day, then I probably need to back off, take a break, find something else to do. It's so easy. I don't know a lot of. It's funny. I was talking a few years ago with Andy Chambers, and we were. He's doing my back, and he's younger than
sweet guy, dude. Such a sweet.
I love him. He's one of my favorite people on this planet.
Yeah, absolutely. Me too. But he made a comment that when we were talking about our history of tattooing, and he was like, it's surprising that you're good and you've been tattooing since the 90s. I don't know many 90s tattooers who are very good.
Yeah.
It's like that's I'm not offended. I appreciate that, and I know exactly what you're talking about.
Exactly.
And it's what people realize is what taking artistic approach to something, and that's where the evolution comes in. Is like we can evolve and go artistic with stuff, but you still have to have the traditional foundations of building a tattoo, because this medium is what it is, and if you don't understand how to lay the block work for it, you can't build a skyscraper out of it. Mm-hmm. So that's the one thing about Andy is watching him, because being another North Carolina boy, watching him at shows and up there and seeing him understanding the line work value, everything's going and building for where he started as a younger tattooer, and seeing his stuff just get fucking insane. And I remember seeing him one year at a convention, seeing stuff, and I was like, it's cool, it's solid, he's good. And he come back next year, and I seen this Star Wars piece he had done was like C-3PO and some other stuff going on. I'm like, who the fuck did that and how?
Yeah.
And then it was little Andy, and it's like,
Mhm.
God damn, his stuff is insane.
Yeah, yeah. I talked to him once about his kind of evolution, and he did Gabe, you might know what it is. He did some type of I don't know if it was a workshop or a show with a lot of people that he looked up to. So it was him, Teresa Sharp, Gogwe, Nick Baxter, and a few other people. And he said that he recognized like what the things that all of those people were doing that separated them from him. Some of it was very technical. He's like, the first thing I noticed, we were all tattooing and they were filming the whole thing. Do you know what this was for at all, Gabe? Do you know
It
what I'm
might have
talking
been a
about?
Paradise. He's been
Okay.
to a couple Paradises. He
Okay,
won one of the Paradise booths at one point.
Okay, but he made this comment. One of the first things that he noticed is that all of those artists that he looked up to came back with a 3-liner at the end of their tattoo and color lined and pulled out a lot of textural stuff. And he was like, I had never done that before. And that just watching them do it, I was like, all right, that's something I'm going to start doing. So he had such a base, and then he just found a few tricks from people who had just were a level ahead of him. This is the way he tells it, at least, that helped him to like if you pay attention, or I've been lucky enough because like I said, he's doing a neck to knee back piece on me. So I watch him work a lot, and it's like the things that he pays attention to, he's super particular about shapes and how a curve flows across the body and how it meets another element, and how those two curves, even if they don't connect, like making sure that they make sense together, from a distance or whatever. And he gets so like dialed in on that he might go an hour without tattooing. He might have me stand up, draw with Sharpies, and then stand there while he tattoos the line. He's like, just stand for a second, I'm going to tattoo this in while the shape is right. He just gets so dialed in on really particular elements like that, and they seem insignificant whenever he's laying them in wash lines, but then by the end of the tattoo, you're like, oh, those sweeps are kind of what make this piece work. He recognizes that stuff super early on.
Yeah, he's one hell of a tattooer. Like I
Yeah.
said, like I said, going against some of these guys that are so insane and but such a sweet, humble person at the same time, and that's what attracts me to people a lot, is just their personality on top of their artistry.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a huge inspiration for me, and one of my favorites, honestly. I love his work. And what you're talking about with the shapes, it's also like he pays so much attention to the negative space,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and because of those shapes. So it's like, and like you were saying, like, oh, it might not look a lot now, but when all those colors are together, it's like, oh wow, that background or that negative space wasn't just a background; it was actually a purposeful shape to the negative space. And I feel like it's so easy as an artist to get caught up in the foreground, because that's the fun stuff, right? It's so easy, and to have that much attention to the final layer, to the whole piece, is really awesome.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It's those kind of big sweeping French curves and all that stuff that he's using to go through. We taught a workshop, the two of us together. We did a 5-week advanced sleeve design workshop together, and he was talking about some of his exercises that he does. And we're designing sleeves, and so he's like, I think about the areas that I don't really want to tattoo, like an elbow, the bend of the arm, or the spongy part of the shoulder. He's like, sometimes before I even start the tattoo, I'll just like make a point from point A to point B, and I'll try to find a unique way to get there with a negative shape that I've never used before, just to like lead the eye from this negative space to this negative space, or here to here. And he's like, and before I even start the dragon or start the whatever, I just start to think about like, what are some cool shapes that are different than the last time I did this,
and how to get there.
Yeah, and how to get there. Yeah,
that's awesome. I love that idea. That concept's great.
Yeah.
Wow,
yeah,
that's really great.
I have to use some stuff like that. I don't even think about that, because there's all these areas that you're just dreading to get into.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or because of those areas, you force a shape because you're dreading it,
right?
Instead of really getting something that flows and makes it a more dynamic piece.
Cause I think we're always trying to focus on, the composition of the tattoo or how it's going to lay out, but then to actually just purposely think about what you don't want to do to make everything compositionally connect is shifting the brain around a little bit, instead of how am I going to work this way, but let's think about how I'm going to work so I don't have to do that still. So
cool. So some of his ideas on sleeve design were really open my eyes, and I want to get him to do. We did it as a live workshop. I think we had 10 artists, and we did it through Discord. But I really want to go spend a week or so up there and film one that we can actually release digitally while he let him design the sleeve in real time. which I'm sure he's always doing, and just catch one from start to finish. And go through his thought process, because the ideas seem complex, but really they're almost these rules that he has that helps to simplify his decision making. You know what I mean? So he's like, it's all if then scenarios. If there's a tattoo here I have to deal with, then I'm going to do this. If the vantage point is here, then I'm going to do this. Like he just like when he first throws it out there, it's like, man, this is a lot for me to take in. But then as you watch it unfold, you're like, oh, really? It's a way to solve problems without like reduce the number of options you allow yourself at every phase of the design.
Well, it's kind of like
awesome.
cover up.
Yeah.
So it's like even like taking approaches to doing cover ups and stuff like that, instead of putting a whole bunch of stuff on your plate that you can and cannot do, just go ahead and what do I have to work with, and let's go from there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Very nice.
So we have just a couple minutes left. I want to make sure that I blast out. There's 2 benefits that I want to make sure we have more viewers now than we did when we started. So we're doing something good. But
That's
yeah,
good.
like I said, maybe if like just before we sign off, I've got 2 more websites to show off real quick. But so I don't know how we want to close this.
Awesome.
Yeah. Let's close it down. I'm sorry to everyone on the Fireside chat room here that I didn't respond to. It looks like there are a ton of messages. I just didn't look down that much. Young Turnell never spoke again. I apologize, dude. Looks like you said like 200 things and I didn't really catch them.
Yeah. Sometimes people are like, "Can I ask a question?" And we're like, "Yeah, just ask the question."
Yeah, just ask it.
That was the question. Yes. Okay. Now next. Okay, so here, this is 26 Swords. This is Jeff and Laura's shop. This is a pretty rough story, actually. I was hitting their homepage and I saw the fundraiser here. Looks like Laura's got some cancer action going on.
Oh
which
no.
is fucking horrific, heart-stopping. So head on over to 26 Swords. She's got t-shirts up here, $20. You should all go buy a bazillion of them to
Oh, absolutely. She's
help
so
her out
young.
with
Good
funds.
Lord.
Yeah, it's not cool at all.
No, not cool at all.
But she's amazing, obviously, as a tattooer and an artist. I remember meeting her over in the Venetian Tattoo Gathering.
Mm-hmm.
She had Venetian Worldwide Conference, and she had gone all the way from Portland to Venice for the conference, and then we were like, "Oh yeah, by the way, we're going to do a conference in Portland next year." She was down. She's like, "Fucking, I'm in Venice, man. What do I care?"
Yeah. I can't be upset about that. We had her. I had her on the show on the Fireside podcast several years back, and she was really, really awesome. She's easy to talk to and carries a conversation.
Yeah, real amazing. So anyway, so go to 26 Swords, right on the homepage there. Scroll down. There's the fundraiser here, and then the other one is a Ukraine benefit for Ukraine that Robert Hernandez has some prints, and
Yeah,
I've been actually getting the prints out, which is awesome. I finally got the tubes and everything. Here we go, $100, and they're signed.
nice.
Sick.
Nice.
That
So-
painting is so crazy if you zoom in on it.
Yeah,
Oh Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah,
God.
it's nuts.
and I did get them signed. So if people pick them up quick, then yeah, they're signed.
The
Yeah.
patient.
And
Oh my goodness.
I know it. It's nuts.
That just
I
made
can't-
my head hurt.
And Robert's he's got his visa, so Robert's roaming around the States too. If anybody wants to get tattooed by him, hit him up.
Awesome.
Something for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. Have we said it all? Are we up again? Yeah, we're a minute over, so I guess we should wrap it up.
Cool. So let's see, Bart, you want to tell us how to get a hold of you and Unify and invite guests and residents there, and then Devin, you can close us out.
Yeah, like always, visit us unifytattoofl.com. You can go on there if you want to be a guest artist. Shoot us an email. Check us out on Instagram, unifytattoofl. You can hit me personally if you need to, BartAndrews_UTC. Always looking for guest artists. Actually looking to add a couple of more solid tattooers to the crew. We're extremely busy shop, and we need help. Also looking for another part-time receptionist to add to what we got going on. Everything to come is just it's unfolding left and right, and needs some support. So
You're only gonna get busier.
yeah, it's only going to get busier from here. It's like Gabe can contest. He sees our requests that are coming in, especially with a new platform, and we need some hands.
Nice.
So, and hopefully we'll see this little guy right here down coming and guest spotting with us again soon. So I'm not going to ask him to move here anymore. I'm going to put up on that.
Hey, I got closer though.
Closer. No, you're closer. So,
Exactly. Exactly.
All right. So Devin, where are you going next? Where are you going to be, and how do people get in touch with you?
Yeah, so I'll be in Lenore, North Carolina next. Then I'll be in Baltimore. Then I'll be in Nashville. Nashville, I still have a spot open. The rest I'm booked, but that's pretty much me in September. But really, just check the Instagram at Devin Coley, DevinColey. I'll try to keep all my dates up there. I'll be in New York in October. I'll be in Atlanta and probably Florida in November. I'll be in Puerto Rico in December. So I'll be around for sure. And who knows, with any guest spots that pop up, maybe in North Carolina or something. So just stay on the Instagram, or you can always shoot me an email. It's just my name again, devincoley@gmail.com.
Nice. Go Heels.
Yeah, definitely go Heels. 100%.
Awesome. Well, man, thanks guys for coming on. We'll wind it up.
Awesome. Thanks
Gabe,
again, everybody. We'll catch up in the near future.
Sounds
All right.
good. You got